Hey everybody, welcome back to No Ordinary Path. My name is John. If you're just jumping in here, this is part 4 of our Trick My Trailer series. If you haven't watched any of the other ones, go back and watch the first 3. Today is the part that's much anticipated, where we bring you the cost breakdown of each of these components and how it may benefit you. If you are in a decision point between buying a brand new RV or taking the one that you have and upgrading it, here's some upgrades that you can do to maybe benefit you upfront with the use of those products and actually help in the resale value later if you do decide to upgrade your RV as a whole. We want you to know that MoRide provided these products for us for our honest review. We are not paid to say any of this stuff. Nevertheless, we do really believe in their products and think that they are the best suspension aftermarket components out there, and that's why we reached out to them in the first place. Also, with Cliffs Welding in Mesa, Arizona, we paid for everything that they provided for us and all the labor and starts just like everybody else. Highly recommend that shop. You may have seen some other videos like on Keep Your Daydream where they were filmed there. Some of the same people we worked with. Very good to work with. They were able to accommodate and squeeze us in a tight schedule, so highly recommend them as well. Where do you start? Let's start with the suspension. Suspensions on travel trailers and fifth wheels are notorious for problematic parts. They break. We put them through rough stuff, the trails and things that we go over. If you've been with us in our channel, you'll know we've had our fair share of suspension issues. That's where the MoRide CRE 3000 wide track came into play for us. This is the 42-inch wheelbase. It's a wide one. This thing's pretty new for MoRide. So new, in fact, that you can't find it on Amazon, and even Austin, the MoRide rep that came and filmed with us, hadn't even seen it on a trailer yet. This thing adds rubber bushing bumps to the equalizer, which kind of helps balance out that load a little bit better. Provides about 1 inch of extra travel suspension, and honestly, kind of feels like it even raised up the trailer a little bit. Pros? I've kind of already mentioned it. It definitely balances out the ride. I noticed while towing that it's a little smoother, especially on those harsh boondocking roads. This particular CRE 3000 with the wide base will run you about $310 and some change. And honestly, you could probably install it yourself. You could really see that distinctive MoRide blue. Cons? I can't really think of any. The thing's awesome. Now, MoRide has several different kinds of these CRE 3000s. They're different sizes. We have this big one for the large wheelbase. Have to go on and check out, see what's gonna work for you. So the equalizer is amazing. But honestly, the true heart of the suspension is the leaf springs. I suggest to you, if you're thinking about upgrading this, to look at those two. Get underneath your rig. Look to see if your leaf springs are still curved. Are they flattened out? Especially on the side that you have the kitchen where the heavy appliances and stuff are. Get underneath there and look them out. We took the leaf springs from Wendy and upgraded to 3,000 pound leaf springs. It's actually pretty easy to upgrade those. Most shops just have them around. Real talk, real life. I'm actually underneath the trailer right now with you guys. All right, let's see how well you can see these. There's the leaf springs. Now these are the new ones. You can see the nice curve in them. When we initially took Wendy to Cliffs the first time, got underneath the trailer with Grant, and he was the one that showed us the leaf springs and kind of how they flattened out on this side where the refrigerator and the stove and all those appliances are. He's like, you might want to think about upgrading those. Well, we did. Wendy came with 2,500 pound leaf springs, 4 of them. Fixed that issue, we upgraded to 3,000 pound leaf springs. Each one of them runs $49.99 a piece. Finally, tying all of this together literally are the shackle bolts. Another notorious thing that breaks on RV suspensions all the time. The stock ones are little. Upgrading to a wet bolt kit or a greasable shackle bolt kit will provide strength, greasability, which means that they'll flex easier, and resistance to rust. And honestly, just looking at the size difference compared to the stock ones is amazing. They do have a series of different kinds that will range between around $120 all the way up to $300, depending on how many you need, with how many axles you have, and the different setup everyone has. Cliffs Welding installed all of this for us, and they have an hourly labor rate of $115 per hour. Total-wise, for the suspension upgrades that we did alone, $975. Honestly, having seen it done, I probably could have done it myself. And if you're the type of DIYer that likes that kind of stuff, you can probably do it. I'll say this though, not having a shop or a decent place to do this, The right kind of air tools and big jacks would have taken me a lot longer. Having all of those installed will make a major difference in towing on bumpy roads, especially if you like to take your camper or trailer some of those harder to reach campsites, right? Now, there's one more component to this whole thing if you really want to make it bomb-proof, and that's the frame. Towable trailers are built around a rectangular frame that is not often reinforced with a center cross member. To illustrate this point to yourself, if you really think about it, take some popsicle sticks or just regular sticks and make a rectangle frame. Attach them together and see how much that frame twists. Now, put 3 or 2 supports in the center of it and try it again, and you'll see easily how much strength that adds to the whole frame. Any good welding shop will be able to weld you up a crossbar on those frame hangers. However, if you're a DIY person like we mentioned earlier that does not know how to weld, MORryde's X-Factor cross member bolts on without any welding to the different frame hangers. It is easy to install, goes right on there with just bolts. No welding required. Now, that might be a con for some people. We actually asked the MORryde reps about this while we were at Cliffs Welding, and they suggested not to do it. Said you could if you wanted to, but really, you don't need to at all. 3 X-Factor cross members ran us $487.44. Cliff's bill rate per hour was just 1 hour of work for this, so $115. So we're looking at a total of $602.44 for this install. Towing with this whole package will give you that confidence to know that you don't have to worry about the common issues that happen to any kind of towable trailer. Not trying to put this out there to get myself in trouble, but let's just say you're one of those people that like to tow close to your weight numbers. Maybe right at your weight numbers. One of the things you've got to watch out for is your axles. Now, being honest here, when we had Wendy at Cliffs, we were planning on doing the standard axle maintenance, packing the bearings with grease, and just replacing the brakes. Unfortunately, due to the unique axles that we happen to have on Wendy and the difficulty of finding parts for them, we ended up just upgrading the entire axle system. Wendy came stock with Dexter 4400 axles. We upgraded to the Dexter 5200 axles. With those upgrades also meant upgrading the brakes. Bigger brakes, more stopping power. Also came upgrades to all the other things and more components, but remember, we were planning on doing the bearings and the brakes anyway. 5,200 pound axles, 2 each at $160. We needed 4 bearings, each one of those cost $15. The tie backing plates, each one of those were $4. A 12-inch, 7,000 pound electric brake, we needed 4 of those at $65 a piece. And then a 6-lug, 12-inch drum for those brakes, needed 4 of those at $74.99 a piece. And then all of that together was held on by new U-bolts. We needed 8 of those at $5 a piece. Cliffs billed us a total of 4 hours at their rate, which came to about $460 for labor. So a total of $1,456. Consider upgrading your axles if you do tow on the heavy side. Remember, the sticker stays the same regardless of your upgrades. Also, if you upgrade the axles to a different lug pattern, you're going to have to change wheels. Fortunately for us, our 6-bolt lug pattern matched the wheels that we had, and we did not have to change wheels or tires, thankfully. Confession. These old steps, Kristen was not the only one that fell down and slid down them before. These are our back steps. Fold-up steps that many of these trailers come with work, and that's about all. They bounce the whole rig every time anybody goes up and down them, and by no means are they a stable platform. Steps are easily the favorite and most notable of all of the upgrades. No more diving boards for the kids to jump off of, and I won't be rocking the trailer every time I leave for work in the morning. MORryde has several different sizings of the steps. This is the 3-step, they have a 2-step, and a 4-step. This one is $356.99, and was so easy to install. We saved money by doing this ourselves. Zip this down. These things can come off. As far as pros go, they're super stable. They have adjustable legs on the bottom for raising and lowering depending on your level, and easily fold up inside. One person can do it. They are aluminum and not heavy at all. The only cons I have to say about these are when they're dirty and you fold them up inside, whatever's on them is going to get inside, whether it's mud, water, grass, whatever. Also, if you're stealth camping or lot docking, leaving them down is kind of a nice advertisement that you're there. You probably noticed earlier that yes, we still do have the old style fold-up steps on the back door. Our door is too narrow. There are different sizes, but that's a 20-inch door frame and they just didn't have a set for those. But there are different sizes, so check out their website. There will be links below in the description. These steps did initially come with the handrail. The handrail is $59.19 from MoreRide, and they offer a couple of different kinds. And initially we did like it, but as things went on, we just decided to take it off because it did feel like it was kind of harder to access the steps from the side. All that being said, if you do have a little trouble going up and down the steps, or you're a little unsteady, have some knee problems or something like that, I can see where it would be very beneficial. These are the MoreRide motion activated lights. I have a package of them here. These will run a 2-pack for about $42.50. I love them because they can attach to the underside of the steps. They're magnetic. They have an automatic daylight on and off switch, so they will not come on while it's light out right now. They're not going to come on. It's too bright. You can turn them completely off, and you can also turn them completely on, and being that they are magnetic, I can come over here, grab a set, and they have a little switch to turn them on. Now it doesn't look like it because it's daylight, but these are surprisingly bright. Not only that, I love the magnet feature because I can stick them underneath the frame or the hood of the truck or anywhere else I want to that's metal and magnetic, and they'll stay there and work. I actually used them, 2 of them I pulled from the steps when I used to install the stabilizers. Nice product. Only con about it, it's a little pricey for 2 of them, but given the features, probably worth it. See these old steps that I totally neglected to clean for this video? When they're unfolded like this, there's this big space in here. If you do decide to upgrade from those old diving board steps, you'll be left with a little bit of space underneath here. You might as well utilize it. This is the MoreRide lockable storage box and is maybe my personal favorite of all of them. They're really easy install to do yourself after you have removed the old steps. It utilizes the same hardware points that the old steps were bolted into. You can pick up the MoreRide locking storage box for $183.93. I love this thing because it is super easy to install and literally bolts right in. It is a great place for all of, well, you could put anything in it, but for us, it has freed up much valuable space in our basement and in the trucks because now all the blocks and chocks are right in here. So whenever we roll into a campsite, unlock this thing, blocks and chocks go down, and we're ready to set up. Cons, it does take a little bit of learning how to deal with this and the steps because you cannot access it when the steps are down. So just kind of learning that pattern and how to set that up. But overall, I really like it. Only other negative, 1 more key. How many keys do you guys have? Another fantastic upgrade was having the custom hitch put on to carry the bikes. Now you can use this for a bike rack or a storage rack or to carry anything else. It's not attached to the bumper. This is a custom hitch welded to the frame that Cliffs did for us. Material wise, cost $100 for the material.
Because they had to move the stabilizers and peel back the underbelly, the labor was extensive and came in at $575. This was not something I could have done myself. We are very pleased with it, and it's something we have wanted for a while.
Travel trailers shake all the time. Ever spent any significant amount of time in one with another person and they're moving around and you're not, you're gonna feel it shake, despite the scissor jacks being down. Still moves. In fact, we have a running joke with Kristen and I that when we're in bed and the kids wake up early and start playing in their bunkhouse, it feels like we're literally on a boat rocking in the water. We were really excited for this product, the X-Brace Scissor Stabilizer Jack from MoreRide. Caveat here, we're actually supposed to have 2 of these. There was some mix-up in the shipping, so we only have the one on the rear installed right now. A full review is coming on this product, probably in a Real Talk Tuesday in a week or so, whenever we get it. We're supposed to get it in the mail this week. But for now, in the back, these things are great. In terms of ease, it's really not that hard. Once they're on, they're on. They raise and lower with the jacks, and then you adjust them with a wrench to tighten them down. I am impressed with how easily they go on, and they're easy to set up. I'm curious to see if they really do stop the wiggling as much once we get all of them on there. These X-Brace stabilizers will cost you around $209 a piece. One for the back, one for the front. Once again, thanks for being here, everybody. We really do hope that you enjoyed the 4th and final part of the Trick My Trailer series. One last special thanks to MoreRide and a special thanks to Cliffs also for everything that they both did for us. With everything MoreRide parts, parts we bought from Cliffs, and the labor, the total came out to be $4,770, which, when you think about it, is a very economical way to upgrade your trailer and make things last and a lot more comfortable versus maybe buying a new one, right? You can also save some money by doing some of those install parts yourselves. We hope you enjoyed this, and if you can, leave the video a thumbs up because that always helps. If you've got any other ideas or upgrades you think would be beneficial for us to add to Wendy, let us know in the comment section below, and as always, we'll see you out there.